So Europe is ramping up pressure on Venezuela. Is there a sense that Europe is now trying to take a lead in trying to find a solution to this crisis?
Good morning, Isabel. Well, Juan Guaido had been calling out to the European Union for support, and so far there has been a somewhat mixed message from the EU. It hasn't really been taking the lead, with the United States, Canada, Brazil all recognizing the self-proclaimed interim president as the leader that they are now backing of the country. On the European side, though, you've got the likes of the UK, France, Germany and Spain all saying if there aren't fresh elections by Sunday, they will follow suit. Now, the EU itself, there was that vote in the European Parliament, but that was more of a sort of signatory move. It wasn't really a full shift. The EU itself isn't recognizing him. And Federica Mogherini was here yesterday saying it's for individual countries to do so. So people like Jeremy Hunt, the British Foreign Secretary, were here yesterday trying to tell the other 27 EU members that they needed to follow suit on this. So far, none of them have yet declared this. And Federica Mogherini said that they will instead be having this contact group that will run for the next 90 days. And that will involve Britain, France, Germany, Bolivia and Ecuador to try to have discussions, to try to sort this out. If at the end of that process it hasn't come to any conclusion that they're acceptable with getting new free and fair elections, then they will talk about sanctions. And that's something that the US has already ramped up. The EU has some existing sanctions, but it has been reluctant so far because it takes all 28 member states to act unilaterally to impose those sanctions.
So, as you're saying, there's a lot of international forces at play here when it comes to this crisis in Venezuela. Do you think we're getting to a point where this increasing support from abroad, in some senses for Juan Guaido, is tipping the balance of power in his favour?
Well, this can really work one of two ways in a situation like this. It will embolden Juan Guaido's supporters if they are getting the news that around the world people are responding, are backing them. And if there are practical steps, like, for instance, the US seizing control of Venezuelan bank accounts and transferring them to the self-proclaimed interim president's control, that will, of course, help him. But that, on the other side, for the followers of the current president, Maduro, that will embolden him and his followers. And they are already saying that this is foreign intervention in the country, hyping up talk, comparing it to the likes of Iraq or likes of Syria. And there was a leader, Diosdado Cabello, who in the party, who said these men in the EU who think Venezuela is a colony have given us 8 days to call fresh elections. So using words like colonial power is, of course, very sensitive in this part of the world and will sort of bring out his followers too. So there is, of course, that danger that on both sides it will polarize things more.